Welcome to Table Talk Friday, your weekly dose of D&D banter between three men in a bedroom. If you like their style, come back every Friday for another upload. Now, back to the boys.
Channeling my energy. Get a little bit of water in my system.
So, Drew, I have a proficiency I picked up this week. You know, when you're looking at your character sheet, there's a little bubble right there. I haven't quite gotten the bubble on there, but soon there's going to be a +2 in something. Do you have any guesses as to something I would want to pick up, like in my time, my spare time? What am I wanting to pick up right now that I'd be like, I'm going to get good at this? I'm already good at a lot of skills, but what would I want to pick up now?
Are you becoming proficient in salary?
Oh, that would be great.
That's a good. I'd take that.
That would be good. That would be good. No.
What about maybe +2 in Pokemon battling?
Okay, no, I've already gotten a little bit of proficiency in that going, so that was already there. Now, okay, I'll give you a hint. The hint is that it's some sort of I would put it as an artisan tool or a kit.
An artisan tool?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I see. You're becoming proficient in the herbalist kit, a little puff.
Oh,
I see.
No. Yeah, close enough. This past week, I think we had a discussion in private a week ago where I was like, I'd like to get good at doing making specialist coffee and stuff, getting in that space, right?
Yeah.
And so we talked about this. And so what I did last week, and I decided that instead of just thinking about it, I decided to start executing, right? Now, what they recommend is for you to spend hundreds of dollars, right? That's what they want you to do. They want you to spend hundreds of dollars on a really nice espresso machine and all the special little accessories to go with it. And I said, no. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to find the cheapest machine that is recommended, one that has good ratings. I'm going to find the cheapest machine that has good ratings, and I'm going to get good at using the shitty machine. And then if I like it enough, one day I'll buy a nicer one.
Ooh, okay.
And so this whole week, every single day, I have made 2 to 4 cups of different drinks you would get at a coffee shop. Lattes, cappuccinos, cortados, Americanos. I've been using that espresso machine. I've been learning how to make all of the different drinks. And today, earlier today, my proficiency, the bubble got half filled because I made a latte that was as good as me going to buy one. It was the first time where I tasted it and went, oh, I could drink this instead of going to buy one. I could save $5 or $6 because I just made this myself.
You've taken the Bean Boy subclass.
There you go.
You're a bean wizard.
So the first couple times I burned myself with the steamer. I made a whole mess all over the counter. I had no clue what I was doing. But after making a couple cups a day all throughout this week, I'm starting to get pretty good at it. So next up is going to be latte art. I'll send you pictures when I actually am able to do it. But
you do a little fancy leaf,
That's what I'm gonna be working on. I'm gonna start with a little heart, and then I'm gonna get to making the cool leaves and stuff.
You gotta make a Pikachu, man. Make a Pikachu.
That would be tough for me. I'm only gonna do the basic ones because I want to get good enough at it. Okay. But yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to have some friends over one day, and I'm gonna take orders from all of them and make them all drinks.
Ooh, okay,
yeah.
A coffee party. There's got to be a better term than coffee party. I don't know.
Espresso get together.
I was thinking espresso entourage, but that's not right. It's not even there.
But yeah, that's my proficiency. I that's what I've been doing all week is just practicing how to make these cool drinks, and I watched a bunch of videos and stuff, and yep, that was it.
Heck yeah, man. Okay. Now, are you drinking all of these coffees? You're drinking the whole thing?
No.
Say, that's a lot
that would be way too much caffeine. Now, I have been downing maybe 1 or 2 of the 2-ounce shots of espresso, equal to that much of coffee per day, which is about what I was having before when I was having an energy drink and maybe some coffee. Okay. So about what I was having normally. But yeah, I've now not been drinking any energy drinks. I've just been having the coffee that I make. And then if I make bonus drinks on top of that, I'm making more, I'll sip it to see what it tastes like and then pour it out.
Oh, that's so sad though.
It's wasteful because I know people go to cafes for a lot of this stuff and they spend $5, right? So you're like, oh, if that's the case, I just put $5 down the drain. But it's not.
Yeah.
It only costs probably less than 50 cents to make that drink.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of milk, a little bit of coffee beans. The bag of coffee that I'm using, I got it from a specialty shop in town. It was $17 for like a whole like pound bag or whatever, and
That's pretty good.
I haven't even used half of it, and I've been making multiple drinks a day just to practice.
You should get random people to test your coffees and see if they like it.
Yeah,
Like, how
well,
much would you pay for this? 3, 4, $5?
yeah, I gotta get good at doing the art because I think that's an important part of impressing people is they
Okay.
pick it up and
Okay.
they go, oh, okay, this is fancy. But I also the next thing, because I spent like $100 total on everything. The next thing is like another $100 to $200 of investment because they want you to have like the fancy grinder. They want you to have some of the fancy accessories to go with it to make it perfect. Like if you get good at making it, you're at the 90% mark, right? You're 90% of the way there. You can get to 95 or 100, but you have to have the proper equipment. And I'm like, if I want to get better, I have to have the right stuff. And I don't want to buy the right stuff yet. You know, I'm like, if I can get good at making it on this little shitty thing, then when I feel like spending another 100 or 200, I can do that.
Okay. What is it like if you had to pick one thing? Like what takes being a coffee expert now, right?
Right.
So you hitting your skill cap, right, at 90%. What is it that brings you to level 20? What is it that gives you that epic boom,
Okay.
the extra speed? What
So
is that
as far
one
as my
thing?
understanding, it comes down to you finding the right beans. So I'm just using some from a
Okay,
specialty
okay.
shop. I said, grind this like espresso. They ground it. It is not ground fine enough, meaning that I can't fit the proper amount inside the little portafilter, the thing that the coffee goes through.
Okay.
So dialing in your grind size is huge. So that way it can all fit in the
Okay,
little
okay.
portafilter thing. So you want to dial that in. You want to time your shots to find like the balance of what it tastes like. So like I haven't done that at all. All I've done is because I don't have the right amount of grounds. How am I going to time the shot to make sure it's right? You know what I mean? So right now I'm just repping out making the coffee. But you need like a nice food scale to weigh it all on, a grinder that you can adjust the grind setting on. But right now I just have pre-ground coffee that I bought from the place. So
Okay.
you're supposed to, grind it to the right amount, taste test it a million times to make sure you've got that, and then also time the shot to make sure it's exactly the amount that you want for the right taste. So those are all the things you want to be able to put together with the specific beans that you have to make sure that you're like getting to that 100% mark. Oh, and then another thing is steaming milk is really hard. You think
Is
that
it?
it's just doop, click a button, right? It's not
Yeah.
that. It's not that. You have to like do it at a specific angle so that a whirlpool gets made in there because it makes little micro bubbles in there and it
Oh.
takes the milk from like regular milky texture to like a paint-ish texture. Like a wet paint-ish texture because there's like little
Oh.
tiny microfoam bubbles in there. And so the reason that latte I made earlier was so good was because for the first time I nailed the whirlpool. It took me the whole week of making all these
Oh.
drinks. And so I finally did it and I was like, "Oh, it's doing it. It's doing it." And I saw it going and I was like, "Okay, I just got to maintain this." And you're holding the cup until it starts to burn you. You're waiting for it to like start to make your hands so hot you can't hold it anymore. And so once it does
That's
that, you cut
crazy.
it off, swirl it around a little bit, hit it once on the table, and then start to pour it. And I did it perfect, 100% perfect, where I was like, "Oh, I made it good." And I took a sip and I was like, "This is the best latte I've ever made. This is so good."
Dang. Okay, it's
Um,
just the milk. The milk is the top answers.
The
I'm
milk
hearing.
was tough, but the 100% like most important thing is probably the grounds and making sure all of that is done correctly. And so because I don't have a grinder, because all I have is the coffee machine, and I had the place grind it for me, right? Without
Mhm.
me grinding it and dialing in and exactly, I can't get like all the way there with this specific coffee.
Okay, you're rolling like a 16, but you really need like an 18, 19 to have a decent here. Okay,
Exactly.
I got you. Really tying it into the D&D aspect of the
A lot of
of the
places who make these things though, they don't even care. Like, if you go to any random coffee shop, most places are not doing all of that. They're kind of like
No.
just going along with the motions, making all the stuff, skipping some steps here and there. And a lot of places don't care about making like good coffee because it's like all sweetened and flavored and stuff, right?
Okay.
But then the places that are like specialty, the places you go to all the time and people like fall in love with, it's because the people really care and they make it really good. So
Okay, so if you could just kick butt making really delicious coffee and do the little leaf thing and a Pikachu on top, you're golden,
boom,
dude.
yeah,
You're
exactly.
making all the gold.
Exactly. So that's been my experience so far. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm very excited for getting better at it, but that, like I said, means buying more stuff.
Okay. Well, no, don't buy things. Just make coffee. Succeed in life. And I feel like I was thinking about coffee. I was thinking about how it really could relate to D&D really well. And I know we had talked about wanting to go to a place a long time ago. I think it's somewhere in New York where it's like
Yes.
a bar. You could roll for the drinks that you get.
Yep.
I love the idea of converting that into a coffee shop. Because I feel like there's a lot of coffee. You know, I know nothing about coffee. Nothing besides this conversation. This has probably tripled my knowledge of coffee just this last 2 minutes, right?
I learned this all this week.
I feel like there's a lot more coffee drinks than alcohol drinks. I don't know if that's true. It may be like is there more windows or more doors in the world kind of an argument. But I feel like there's a lot of stuff you could do with coffee, like whether it be creamy or milk, no milk, sugars, blah 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 blah, whatever, right?
You know,
I feel like you could do that.
Do you know something that happened whenever you remember when Zach came out to Fort Huachuca or to Arizona because he had like a work trip, and he visited me and one of my buddies when we all like hung out and played cards and stuff. Yeah. So there was a coffee shop in the mall that we were playing cards at. And this whole mall, I swear, this whole mall was taken over by TCG shops. And like, and so it was all TCG shops and then a bunch of Asian restaurants. So it was like only nerds owning these places, right?
That's so weird.
Yeah. And the restaurants were really good. But in the shop we were at, right down the way, there was a place. I don't remember what it was called, but it was a coffee shop. So we go over to it because I'm like, let's just get some coffee while we're here. And it was all gaming themes. You walked in and it's like, buy the Sonic the Hedgehog drink, buy this. None of it was actually that, but it was just the way they flavored it, whatever.
Yeah.
One of their options, and the option Zach actually did, was rolling 2 dice. I don't remember if it was 2d10s or 2d20s or what it was. But
2d10s is weird. Don't do that.
But they rolled 2 dice, and that would pick their flavors. And so Zach did that, and it turned out pretty good. He liked it. So that was
already doing this.
Yeah, it was like the type of drink that you would roll for, and then whatever flavors were in it.
So do you think you'll have to give me directions, but if I go there and I let them know that they stole my idea, can I sue them for a whole lot of money?
Probably, yeah.
I feel like I could probably make it work. Because, I mean, I don't know how long they've been around, but I just came up with this idea now, but I could say I did a couple years ago.
Yeah, you could definitely do that. I don't think you'd have any issues.
Okay. I might just file a lawsuit this weekend then. Probably feeling good. I mean, what's a good weekend with a good lawsuit?
Yeah, no. I mean, speaking of Fridays, D&D happens a lot of times on the weekend, you know what I'm saying? And we all have to play online because we are not in the same place. We all have to play online every single week. And it sucks.
Unless we had a coffee shop. Unless we had a coffee shop
that we could all go to that's in between all of us, between Texas, Maryland, and North Carolina.
There's a perfect central location for that.
Yeah, Tennessee or something like that. I don't know.
Demiplane, dude. Demiplane.
So, our topic for the day is going to be discussing what if we had the absolute perfect online setup, what would we want to get out of it? And it's kind of a double-edged sword because there are things I think I want that I don't know will enhance the experience. But here, I'm gonna lay out for you a little bit of my thought as to what like remote D&D would preferably look like for me.
But before you do, let's get like a foundation here. When we talk remote, are we talking everybody is entirely digital, or is there like 1 or 2 people at a table?
No, everyone is in different places. All of us are in different places, just like we normally are right now.
It's the most difficult way to play D&D. Gotcha.
Yeah, and it is tough, isn't it? Like we've been doing it this way for a few years, and it's tough because sometimes internet connections will mess up, mics will. Like it is pretty tough on us, especially like I think it's Sean's connection where sometimes he'll start talking and it'll pause for a second and then it'll catch him back up over the course of a few seconds. And so all of us pretend it's not happening, but it happens all the time. And I even I told him last week, I was like, you know that happens, right? And he was like, I didn't know that happened. And I was like, okay, well, just so you know, your mic cuts out a lot and then your voice catches up and we all stay silent until it does.
This is a problem. This has nothing to do with it, but this is a problem that I think has affected everybody. And we need people to speak up at the table about when these things happen. Now, sometimes, like what you mentioned with Sean, it catches up. So all you have to do is just take 1 second for it to catch up, and you get everything he says.
Yeah.
So it's totally fine. Or like Zach will cut out sometimes for a moment, but the context clues of what he's saying, it perfectly matches. Like, okay, I completely understand what he said. I missed one word, but it's fine. But I know we had talked recently within the last couple months,
Yeah.
and you told me my audio was buns, and I was like, I had no idea my audio was buns. I bought myself like this nice headset like a year or so ago, blah blah, thinking, oh yeah, all these scrubs are like just bowing down to my incredible audio over here, and he told me it's just fun, so I had to fix it up, and it's better now.
And it was because
But
we started doing the podcast again, where
oh,
I told you, I was like, by the way, your audio is kind of bad. And you were like, has it always been that way? And I was like,
we
yeah.
gotta speak up. That's what we need. We need a feature that yells at other people for you, so you can avoid confrontation.
I think a lot of us are just able to suspend disbelief to where it doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? Or we're just like, oh, we don't want to ruin the momentum of the session to stop it and fix something.
But sometimes it does screw it up. Sometimes audio problems can really ruin your immersion. It doesn't happen often, but when it gets really bad, it's pretty
So
bad.
I guess that's number one. Everyone would have a fiber internet connection that never cuts out because, like, I know I have a fiber internet connection. I don't think I ever have any big problems. Your connection's consistently very good. I think Chase's is, Patrick's is. I think we just consistently have Zach and Sean where theirs will just go in and out a little bit, which I don't know where exactly they both live. So they probably just have a little bit like different internet strength, which is fine. But yeah, so theirs will consistently do that. Now, outside of that, here's my pitch to you. Now, I'm gonna invent some things.
Invent something.
First things first.
Starting off strong.
First things first. Every single one of us would have something to put over our eyes, right? Now, I can't comfortably wear a VR headset sitting at this desk or in this room probably for 3 or 4 hours. I just don't think I could. What I could do though is if there was some if we had like some glasses or something, or like I have those glasses that do the little screen in front of you. What I need is for it to be full immersion, so it shows the whole thing, kind of like that Microsoft, the Google Glass thing or the Microsoft Lens thing. I need it to show me a whole table in front of me, and then like a controller or something for me to manipulate pieces, and all of us would have that set up. And we would all be able to see like an avatar or something standing around, or just, video, even if it's just your videos displayed in front of us. I need all of us to be able to see something like that and manipulate it. This doesn't exist. This isn't a thing. But if we could do that, like I'm talking better than, and it can't be like VR chat. It can't just be like I'm Ugandan Knuckles or anything. I need it specifically to be us, so we can see ourselves. We can see like manipulating our like doing our voices and making reactions.
Okay, so I thought you were going in a direction I actually was going to say I dislike, but I think we're on the same page. What you're saying is you actually want to be sitting at the table virtually, with the boys.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm 100% on board with that. What I thought you were going to say, or the direction you were taking, was we all need to be in VR and like see the world, and like I don't want that.
And that's what I'm saying. The problem is like I can't like I said, I can't wear a headset for hours, and I don't want to see you guys as like your profile pictures. I want to see you as like yourselves.
Yes. So but here's the difference. I want to make sure we're being crystal clear, because one thing I'm super for, one thing I'm not. I do want to see you guys like moving in VR would be really cool. What I don't want to see is the game. I don't want to watch Zach's, super cool elven monk, right, fighting in the game.
No.
I want to still imagine it. I still want to have the board, but to VR be able to see you guys at the table as if I were VR, just at a table, sitting with the boys. That's what I would want.
Yeah,
I think that would be
in front of a table that we're picking up pieces on.
Yes. 100%. That is top tier gaming right there.
Yeah. And the good thing about this too would be we can import 3D models and make the table however, like it could all be Dwarven Forge. You know what I mean? Like,
ooh, okay, okay.
And there is a game very close to this. It's in VR. I've played it when I had one of those like MetaQuest headsets at one point. It was called Demeo, Demeo, and you're in VR above a board, and you're picking up pieces and moving them like Fire Emblem style and choosing actions to take against other pieces. And there's like a background story, but it's more for the gameplay. If we had that and we could see each other, it would be flawless. But it wasn't that kind of experience where you're each manipulating your own board and you can kind of see the person's doing something, but it's more gameplay. It's less immersion.
Okay. I'm into, and I'm going to start I'm writing these down because I'd like to see if we could do anything about our gaming setup, right? Improve it in the future. What about? I like the idea of seeing each other. One of the things I was going to mention was I really like being fully immersed, and sometimes full immersion is being able to kind of explain what you're doing to me.
Yeah.
Right. So I really want to not necessarily immerse myself, but I want to immerse you, Seth. I want to immerse, you, Patrick. Right. I want him to understand how I envision my character and the things that I do. Right. So one of the ideas I had was instead of me sitting here and explaining it to you, or having like this little box of Discord or Roll20 or Zoom, whatever it is you may use,
Right.
almost having the ability to kind of maybe have a couple extra cameras. I don't know exactly technologically how you do it, but me being able to back up, stand up, and show you like how I'm doing it, right? Because if I just back up right now, it's like, it's small camera and it's not going to work like that, right? It's not going to be perfect. But the way to something having
another angle where you can stand up and show
angles. Yes. So I could stand up and go, no, my character has this, he fights with this, this baseball bat, right? I'm going to like slug it just like this and show like the way that I swing and get into the motion and almost kind of dance with the character a little bit, like really feel him in your body and get into the motion.
Which, I mean, notably, I have stood up from this chair before and done that in the background. I've been like, okay, I'm going to do this. And I go back and I show you. Yeah.
But how cool would it be if you had like almost a stage for it, where it
would be cool.
Zoomed in, and I think it would be extra cool. It's very, very niche, but I often think of things like that, like little props and whatnot, like little ways to enhance the game. To me, that would be fun.
It would be really fun if you had like a little, like an action figure or a puppet of yourself or something like that, and you just showed, here's what happens, and you were able to manipulate it in that way. Yeah, I wouldn't be good enough at doing it and showing you with it to actually do it, but like the idea of having a thing and being like, it does this, and showing, it would be pretty sick. We interrupt this regularly scheduled broadcast to tell you about patreon.com/tabletalkfriday, where you can get post shows from the boys every single week. Sometimes they talk about their personal lives, sometimes they talk about gaming, and sometimes the conversation just continues where it left off. So go check out patreon.com/tabletalkfriday now.
What else would make the perfect D&D setup for only remote people? We have perfect internet. I added in good mics because we were talking about the mics.
Right.
Although the internet kind of helps with that. And we have a full size camera is what I wrote down. We can interpret that however you'd like.
Yeah. What
else would be a good? Oh, I didn't write down the VR option. Of course, VR setup at a table. What else would be?
Something I think is a good DM tool, and what I'm going to try to implement at some point. I actually just thought of this, and I'm going to now be working on that as soon as we finish the podcast, probably. I really want to get the voice changer working really well.
Oh, yes.
Because, especially for the DM, I think the players using their regular voices and manipulating it is good, right? The voice changer, though, especially for a DM, can give you a lot of options to go with, to where, like, I don't know if I would necessarily want to do like, okay, I'm going to do a female voice and click the female option, but more like when you're playing, have a demonic character, adding some sort of flair to the back, or it like repeats it in like a more gravelly voice or something like that. Or same way, like a celestial one, it just sounds like it's sparkly, like it sounds radiant, Being able to do that and adding the voice changer in, I think that's actually like a top tier idea that we can actually implement. And I just thought about it where I was like, I did it for one session, right? I played a character who was inside a robot suit, but he was like little and inside of it. And I had his voice changer going through the robot suit very menacingly. So I would really like to implement that more because it was fun in the moment. Now, what's hard about it is the delay, because you say it and it takes the changer a second to do the voice. So there's like a quarter to a half a second delay between you saying it and then it going through. That's a little bit tough because you have to keep talking without stopping while you're hearing yourself later.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit tough, but if you can deal with that, I think it is a game changer when it comes to your voices, and something you can't do in person very easily. So it kind of adds to that immersion. And
of course, there's always the get good element, right? Of get more voices or do voice lines, whatever it be. But we've been playing for years and years, and I still feel like I only have so many voices I can do. And
Me too.
I've increased it. I've definitely, gained some over time, or realized, okay, I can do this, and it sounds kind of interesting or unique. But to the average person, the casual player, I can't imagine how many voices you're going to be able to get. So
I have like 8 that I can consistently do.
oh God, I don't know if I could put a number on it. And some of them are very similar. Like I know we've talked about this before. I get very self-conscious about, I shouldn't say self-conscious. I feel very uneasy about coming up with a new character. And then a lot of people practice their voices. And sometimes I'll be sitting in my car, my commute, right, to work. And I'll be like practicing a couple voices. Like, this is kind of what he would say. Or if I was in a situation like this, could I hold my ground with my accent and still do combat or this or that, right? And it's tough. It's definitely tough. But as a DM, being able to really portray that super cool, like you were talking about, that villain, this character that you've been thinking about and working on for years, that's inspired by some movie or book you read, whatever it may be, right? And just being able to really amplify the voice, immerse the players, and convey how evil or dark or creepy that character is huge. So I love the idea of a high quality voice changer. But I don't know any good ones. I know you used that one before. I don't know if there are better ones out there. I don't know if there's
got to be. The one I used took me
idea.
30 seconds to install, and then it only had a certain selection of voices, and I was just kind of going between them as fast as I could, learning it in the moment. Like, I muted myself a few minutes before the session started, messed with a couple of the settings, was able to combine 2 voices so that it sounded like the way that I wanted it to, and then unmute and start talking. Like, that was how quick I had to figure it out, because I had the idea right as the session started.
That might be another thing right there. So you were talking about unmuting to me, which made me think of sort of the interface, right?
Yeah.
What I'd like to have, because personally I have 2 screens. I think you have 2 or 3.
I have 2, yeah.
Over there. I would love everybody to have a screen for every application they have open at the time.
Ooh.
Right? So I want to have an app open for Discord so I can see you guys. I want to have an app open for Roll20 so I can see all the pieces. But I also want top left to be my Excel sheet for all of my spells, all of my items, all the stuff that I put together for my character, my character notes, right? Top right, fourth screen could be session notes, jotting things down that are happening along the way. Maybe I got to Google something really quick about, how does Divine Smite work? How many D8 do you roll for Cure Wounds? Because after 10 years of playing D&D, I still cannot remember what freaking die is to roll Cure Wounds. But I think that would be epic, having 4 screens, and then maybe enough room to have your physical book, right? Because I truly run, me personally, maybe I know everybody's a little different. I run a true hybrid system where I do have my books open on my right over here. I do have my dice, my physical dice on my desk here, but I do have several applications open running D&D stuff. And now for the new campaign, I actually keep my character sheet. I don't even touch my character sheet. It's in front of me on my bulletin board, on a clipboard, so I can look up for my abilities, roll for them, and then I use my
That's
computer
pretty
to do
sick.
what I do. So I would love more screens. Hell, throw a cool desk in there. Why not? Everyone should have plenty of room to set for their perfect setup.
It's funny you say that you want all these screens. I honestly like the way I do it right now, where like so the left 3/4 of the screen is Roll20. The last quarter of the screen is Discord, where I have all of you guys in one column going down. And then I have YouTube, notes, all stat blocks, everything on a little mini monitor that's on the right side. Everything goes through there, and I just tab over to the right ones at the right time. And so, yeah, this screen does not move at all during the session, and all my notes are over here. So if you ever see me looking off towards the side, it's because I'm looking at all my notes. What I would prefer, though, is to have another little monitor right here in front of me, right? Like right where I'm facing directly on, because my camera sits off to the left. And what I'd prefer is to have Discord over here with all of you guys. So that way, whenever I'm looking over here, I'm looking at Discord. Mm-hmm. So that is something I would prefer. I think this monitor costs like $60. It's not that expensive. I could just buy another one and hook it up. I just haven't, because the system doesn't need to be perfect right now, and I'm not going to get that much. Like, I wouldn't say that it would give me $60 more of value to upgrade it to that. Would I prefer to have it though? Yeah. But I'm not going to spend the money because I don't need it.
Topic is Dream Team, man.
Yeah.
Dream Team, the perfect remote. So the money isn't even an issue here. We're wealthy beyond our wildest imaginations here. So as many screens as you want, big old desk. I guess if you want to jam everything into one screen, you can, Seth. I'll allow it. I'll let you do it in
Yeah,
my
right now it's
session.
my only real option is jamming it all into one screen and then having one other one for notes and everything.
What a
And
pain, though, man.
whenever
Ugh.
we do the session though, like whenever I'm a player, I open up my character sheet on my phone. And just because I have the digital, like the app that does it all.
I still
So
can't get behind it. I've tried.
I
I
open
can't
up the
get behind
character
it.
sheet on the phone and I just go through it. I know where everything's at, so I scroll really quick to what I need, look at the spell. Okay, I have this many first level spells available. Cool. So go over to this. And so I can navigate that really well. And then I don't have to worry about having a paper all the time. Now, a lot of times when I make the character though, I will write out a paper just to like this is what I'm going to do. If it's going to be a long-term character, I'm like, this is me. Write everything down, and then I don't use it because I don't want to touch it.
So I'll still use my first of all, if you play a long-term D&D campaign and you don't write your character down on a paper,
Yeah.
get out of here, man. I don't want you in my game. All right, this is ridiculous. You got to put it on paper. It's for the tradition of the game, man. It's
Right,
tradition.
right.
You have to. I don't care if you put it to level 1 and then never touch it again, and you're level 20 and you've never upped it. That's fine, but you have to write it down. You got to put it down one time just to get into the immersion of the game, feel the tabletop energy that has now evolved into a
Right.
more modern thing, right? But you got to feel it. So at least put it down. But I do think there are a lot of ways nowadays to do it more hybridly. And I know I was talking to you a little bit, but I worked with Sean and Pat a couple weeks ago. I have built a Excel sheet that tracks
Yes.
spells, their slots, and your health 10 times better than I used to with Pyth, which being a level 20, well, level 17 wizard, 3 levels of sorcerer, there's a whole lot of spells going on. You have no idea what you have to prepare. So with my new cleric, still being a full caster, it has been increasingly helpful, and it will only get better as I go on.
Exactly.
Being able to prepare all these different spells from all 9 different levels, blah blah blah. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna keep getting better at it though. So yeah, I think that covers a lot of like the modern kind of stuff we can have. What else would be a perfect dream team remote session? We've got good internet, we've got good mics, we've got full size camera for like that immersion, we've got the VR setup at the table with the boys where you can look across and see everybody, which is super cool. Got the voice changer. We got several screens if you so wish. And I wrote down big desk because I love way more space than I have. Personally, I like to sprawl. I don't know about anybody else. When I played D&D back in the day at college, man, I get the biggest table. I go into those conference rooms. I have 6 books on the table ready to go.
You know what would enhance everything for me in a way? Like this is pie in the sky. We will never have the ability to do this, right?
Okay,
Even if we had
okay.
everything else, we probably wouldn't be able to do this. Having a person who's not in the game producing everything for us. I'm talking they're changing the maps for me.
Oh,
They're getting
yes.
everything written up. They are not written up, but they're doing everything as far as during the session, they're setting the scene. They're setting the music. They're changing all the maps. They're bringing the creatures out. I'm making the calls and I'm moving the tokens around in combat, right? But they're getting everything during the session ready, so all I have to do is tell the story. That would be,
Oh,
if I had that option, oh my God. It would be like so much better. I'll do all the prep and they'll just know what they have to do.
I'm imagining a full crew of like college students
Yes.
running this theatrical production. Like we're on a stage basically, and they're just wheeling off like these big scenes with buildings, like cardboard cutouts, and like they're building it as we're going. And then all you have to do is like snap your fingers, the lights turn red, and like someone makes
Exactly.
the demon voice in the background.
Exactly.
Like mind blown.
I
Oh,
like
man, that was so
I
cool.
already think we have good vibes and good immersion, but if we had something like that, it would immediately be like, oh, well, I will cancel my plans to play D&D. You know what I mean?
Cancel anything to do that.
Exactly. And then I guess the only other thing that can make it better, we used to do whenever we would all have when we'd have a big session, right? Like huge boss battle this week, we're ending an arc, or we're finishing the 1 to 5, we're going to this next section of the game. We would have like a little party, right? We would have a bunch of food, and we would have a bunch of drinks and a lot of caffeine around, a lot of stuff like that, snacks during the session. I want the ability for us all to share food again while we're during the session. Like everybody, I know we could all go out and do this, right? But it's a lot for everybody to go out and buy a pizza. It's another thing for us to all split 2 Costco pizzas, right?
Yes.
And like,
100%.
okay, and someone's going to come in and supply some cookies. Someone's going to come in and supply some sodas. It's different than if we all go out and get a meal and sit down and like start eating. It's not the same as, oh, we had all these pizzas and stuff and we all shared. I want that ability. Like, oh, I'm going to leave the room and grab it and come back, and now we're back at the table.
Food, I thoroughly believe that food and snacks is another D&D game enhancer, no different than music, lights, candles, anything like that. I'm telling you, man, we have never played. Anytime we ever get together and have food, which I feel like every time we get together we have food now because it's sort of rare when it happens. But anytime you have food for people to share at the session, I don't care what anybody says, it is better.
Yes.
The vibe is better. Like the energy of like everyone, everyone's well fed, everyone's kind of enjoying themselves. It picks up the mood a little bit. It's just, it flows better. And is there the element of people kind of getting up to get a drink? I guess. Sure, fine. But I've never once felt like it ruined the session ever. Like just because Pat gets up to get an extra quesadilla or an extra pretzel or some chips, right? I don't think it takes away at all. In fact, because people are moving, it's almost more like we're hanging out.
Exactly.
Like, we are hanging out, but it feels more active. It almost immerses me more.
I get it, because the way, like, whenever we're all able to get together, right, that feels more like a party, right? We all come together, we play D&D, and we hang out. When we get on, and this isn't a bad thing, when we get on Roll20 and we get in Discord, it feels a little closer to an appointment that you have fun at. You know what I mean? It's less of a party, it's more of a scheduled thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's a bad thing, because I think it's nice that we all do set time aside to all get together every week and play D&D. But if I had it my way, every week would be more like a party.
No, 100%. Like, why not throw a D&D party?
Right.
Like, absolutely. There's no reason not to. I will say that there are some times when, especially if someone's had a rough week. I know I've had some damn rough weeks.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, D&D, man. D&D sounds like a lot, but I know I'm going to have fun. I know it's going to make me feel better.
Mm-hmm.
So you sit down and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm vibing, feeling good. But I also kind of like that I'm in my own space. Everyone's over there. I'm kind of just, if I need to, I can look down and check my phone real quick because I'm concerned about something going on or whatever it may be, right?
And if you are having that week, you can sit back and let the rest of the group do a little more of the work.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Like, I've definitely, I had sessions like that in Patrick's campaign where, like, I came out of a really tough week and I was like, this week I'm going to be here, but I'm not going to be, like, locked in, I'm going to be here and I'm still going to participate and I'm still going to do all my things, but I'm not going to be 100% dialed in the whole time. And that was okay. It was still an amazing campaign, and I still had a great time playing my favorite character that I've played so far. So, yeah, all that to be said, I do enjoy that part of it being remote, and like being remote isn't always like a negative. I think it is nice that we're able to still do it and still get together every week. And I do think that Roll20 has helped immensely in me creating my sessions, because before I would have to find specific maps and minis for everything. It wouldn't always be perfect, but I'd be like, I need to find a map that fits this for me to physically lay down on the table. Now I can go on whatever website and I can just find a map that works and paste it into Roll20 and I'll layer it. And I know how all the map like stuff works to where I can get it big and get the squares on there. I now only do maps that don't have squares already, so that way I can just use the Roll20 squares and size it how I want. So all of that has helped immensely in me getting my prep done and setting the scene. I have some good maps coming up, even though they're a little lower quality because I didn't pay the subscription to get the higher quality ones. They're a little lower quality, but there's maps that I'm going to have coming up that I wouldn't have been able to get on like a physical board. So it's really nice to be able to have all of those scenes be a little closer to my imagination, as opposed to, well, I need to make a session around this map that I found.
No. Yeah, maps are a big stressor for me. I feel like if I don't find the right map, it does not convey the session right. It does not convey the environment. It doesn't make you feel, because you're staring at it the whole time. And now in the past we've done other things to offset that, right? We've done like a little PowerPoint in the background where you can kind of see the city of Waterdeep, whatever it may be, right? Different screen. You could do like role play screens, right? Very common.
Yep.
But especially if you're about to be in combat or post-combat and you still kind of want to see the layout of where the people are, it's a huge deal to have the right map to show it. If your map's boring, no one wants to fight on a board. Like just like a big open field, bland. Right? You want to see some trees, you want to see some rock, blah blah blah. And personally, someone coming from somebody who takes way too long to do everything in D&D, I cannot stand looking for maps. It is the worst. I'm not going to say it's the worst because music is the worst. I hate with a burning passion. If I could destroy it, I would.
Really?
I hate finding music for D&D because it never lives up to my standards. It's never or like, oh, it's perfect, but I don't have the right session for that. I don't have the right situation for this. So it's just puns, and I love that we've swapped over to a
More
like a group
communal.
setting. Yeah, more communal. Like, someone pick a the end of the world kind of track. Someone pick a track about someone dying. What? What?
Which
What are we?
I did not do that for our current campaign, where I've actually chosen tracks to like set the scene, right? Oh, that's another thing. DM controlled music, so like a watch together. We don't do watch together anymore. We just send the tracks in Discord and then pull them up. But I watch together. There's something to be said about that with the DM controlling the music and all syncing up. I almost want to bring it back because I have a playlist for the current campaign where I'm like, I could just send a watch together, like everybody can click it, and then I would just be in control of the music the whole time. Like,
I think you're onto something. I'm gonna throw my 2 cents in, and I used to do watch together back in the day when I was a DM just for my local boys.
Yeah.
Back in the day, and it's problematic, I think, for certain things. Like it's a little annoying to kind of operate. It gives the DM another thing that they have to do. But when you get the flow right and you have all of your music pre-selected, you've already done the work, and you're trying to control the environment to really tell the story to the best of your ability, it's exquisite, dude. It's top tier. I would do it again. If I were to run a campaign for you guys right now, I think I'd swap us back to a watch together type of vibe.
and it's easy for the players because you just click the watch together link and you're in it.
Yes, that's
So
all you have to do.
it's a little more work on the DM, like you said, but like I said, I already have the playlist done. So I could easily just select in the same playlist and we'd be good. So I'm thinking I might do that because instead of me being like, okay, go back to this track, I could pause the music. I could switch over the track right when I want to. Things like that. So like dial in your watch together and then we'll be good for the session. And something I've done in the latest sessions is I have some preset tracks. I have been using a couple over and over again because I feel like they set the scene really well. But the plan is to have tracks that we use for each like arc. So right now we're heavily sitting in the snow tracks, right? And all of these battles that have to do with like winter and fighting in the cold and things. And I think that for someone like you who doesn't like choosing your music, Bardify is probably your best friend. Bardify has just such a catalog of some of the best D&D music where I'm like, I can go on Bardify and type in snow and then I'll get all the tracks I need for the next 6 weeks.
Here's my argument though. Bardify, I'm pretty sure, are a bunch of government lizard people, right?
What?
Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Now, that's not to say I don't listen to their stuff. Incredible, shout out to Bardify. But I'm pretty sure they're all baby-eating lizard government people. And the reason I say that is because every time there's something big going on, if I'm trying to run let's say a Christmas session, right? That's my thing. If I'm trying to run a Christmas session, there's always a snow track that comes out right about that time, which, okay, fine. It's the season. Okay. I'll give it to you. But we were running Theros. There was like this perfect like graveyard or something track that came out. I was like, what? Just in time. We did, what was it? We did some Spelljammer stuff and they did like this Twinkling Stars vibe. I don't know the exact names. You're gonna have to look them up, boys, if you want to call my bluff on this. But they always come up with something just as it's useful. And if you look in the comments, there are people saying the same thing. I'm telling you, man, this is a government conspiracy. It's government controlled. They're lizard people. They eat babies. They're doing all this stuff, and they are running Bardify. Add it in.
How do I pay them?
Birds, the Bardify?
Yeah, how do I pay them for their service to me?
I think you just pay your taxes, and they get it.
That's good. That's good. I usually get taxes back, so maybe I'll have to donate them.
Oh, you're stealing money from Bardify?
I am.
That's
I'm taking it from Bardify. Yeah. Well, I think we've come up with a pretty solid list here of things we would do in like the perfect scenario, right? We would have perfect VR immersion. We would have different angles to view ourselves at where we could show you exactly what we're doing. The music being in sync. Ooh, snacks that are able to teleport between the rest of us so we can all share them.
Mm-hmm.
And
say full set team. You mentioned the full set production team.
Full set production team, yeah, for to run the actual background mechanics of the session. I mean,
I think that's most of it, man. I mean, that's most of the good.
Maybe a filter
stuff.
that applies my character's like costume over top of me.
We didn't mention, okay, but here's the thing. We said full set team, so it kind of encompasses a lot. But I do think it's worth mentioning the costumes.
A costume and
having
makeup team
design, or that, or it's just like, it's just 3D printed for you, like the future. It's just ready to go. Like, oh, give me a Oswin Alemaker Artificer cosplay. It scans out for you, you're ready to go. Dude, I would be so immersed. Having props on demand. I'm a prop boy. You know this. Props on demand, I'd cry. That would be my D&D immersion would be through the roof. I think I'd play D&D every day.
That would be awesome. That would be the moment where I'd be like, this is so good that maybe I do need to do it full time. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh,
like
100%,
it's time to start running these sessions all the time.
I really thought, I'm gonna let you know right now. And I could do it too. I could go back on my word, but I really thought about doing the beard for Edmure in Campaign 3. I really did, to convey the oldness, and I might do it. But I feel like once I commit to it, I have to, and it's really itchy, man.
You can just wear it sometimes. We can picture.
But if I wear it just sometimes, it doesn't feel right. I feel like I have to be fully immersed. I have to be Edmure all the time.
Oh, okay. Like even at work.
Even that's how I get the character. Actually, before we start a new campaign, I'm that character at work for like 3 months.
Yeah, method acting. Yeah.
Yes, and my coworkers hate me for it.
It's funny because
I almost get fired every time, but it works out.
It's funny because since I'm the DM, a lot of times I just go to work and I say that I'm God, I'm the Messiah. I am actually no. You have to work today. That's kind of what I tell them.
I'm God, Messiah. I will say, if we had a full set production team to really push forward the D&D, really immerse us to do everything for us, I would say if there's 2 people I could have on that team, I would have Good Old Gamer and Rochelle.
Oh my God,
that team.
yeah.
Over at patreon.com/Tabletop Friday, just saying, check it out. They're over there. They could probably make you a cool costume. If you need music, I'm pretty sure they're both full-time composers. So they could probably write you a full
master
track.
Baristas. They can make you lattes. Yeah.
I've had one of their espressos and I literally couldn't sleep for 3 days. Like top tier stuff. So if you want any of that, or you have some ideas or suggestions, feel free to stop on by and over at the Patreon and just see what's going on. Join the community. Give us some suggestions. Whatever you got to do. But check it out. Go see how those guys.
And with that, I need the top tier remote player to take me out.
Top tier remote player. What's up, guys? It's the top tier remote player. Hey, just hacking in and getting everybody set up. Oh, yep, set up my 3D printer right now for all those costumes. Set up the light. Oh, spotlight in. Oh, I'm in the shot. The perfect moment. And here's my dialogue option. It is. Answer the post show.
Bye.